Hey guys, so before we start today's video, I just kind of want to talk about all the current events that have been going on. This is a very difficult time, and I think it's really important that as Americans, we should all come together and support one another regardless of race, gender, or religion. I will provide links down below that you can go and help support this entire matter and this entire movement the best way that we can. I think it's really important to address that. And I love creating videos, and because it kind of helps me unwind from reality, everything that's going on, whether it's my personal life or whether it's just the world in general. We should always go and educate people out there and just kind of inform people out there about what's happening, especially when it's all about brutality and inequality. With that being said, we're gonna go and dive into today's video. So today I am going to go and do a full face of e.l.f. cosmetics. I have a couple of things in my collection that I love from e.l.f., but I didn't have a whole full face of makeup, and so I decided to make a purchase online and just kind of skim through the website, see what they have. And I've been trying these products out for one whole week, so I'm going to give you guys a full review of what I think of them, just because I think first impressions are great, but I really kind of want to give you guys my detailed review of all the products, especially whenever I kind of try any new makeup products. I just kind of want to give you guys my full and honest review. I have my iced coffee here, and I'm so sad because our fridge doesn't make ice for some reason. Our fridge is cursed. Every time we have any fridge, the ice just stops working, and for a total first world problem, I made my iced coffee without any ice. But alright, so for foundation, I actually never tried any e.l.f. foundation. I just really wanted to give this one a try because it seemed right up my alley. This is the e.l.f. foundation serum, and it has goji berry in it. This also has an SPF of 25, and it's just supposed to give you a really that bare, barely there skin foundation look. I have this in the shade medium dark. Now this does only come in 5 foundation shades, which does not really seem like e.l.f. because e.l.f. is pretty inclusive for the most part. When I saw that there were only 5 shades, I was a little bit shocked, but I understand why. This is supposed to be a very sheer coverage foundation, totally understandable. Say that the medium dark is actually a little bit too dark on me. I should have went with the medium, so they do run a little bit darker. I bought an NC35, and sometimes in summer when I'm really loving the sun, I'm an NC40, but usually year round I'm an NC35, and this was actually too dark for me. Since it's sheer, I feel like I can get away with it. So this is the e.l.f. Total Face Sponge. They said you can use this wet or dry. I'm going to just probably spray it with some rose water because I have that here. I'm so lazy to go to my bathroom and wet a sponge right now. I can tell you that this feels really nice. It's not too dense whatsoever. I don't like the Morphe facial sponges because they are way too dense, and I just feel like besides kind of blending in the product, they pat the product on your skin rather than really kind of working it into your skin. Just kind of wetting it with some rose water. Just want to give it a good little mix before you kind of go on. So I actually remember that I bought things from e.l.f. when I was about 15 years old. It was primarily only online. It wasn't in Target. I think they didn't carry, I don't think Target carried e.l.f. until quite further down the road, and everything on e.l.f. was $1. I still remember everything that I bought, and NYX and e.l.f. were my first online makeup purchases when I started getting into makeup. And since it was affordable, just kind of seen e.l.f. transform as a brand. e.l.f. and NYX, I've seen both of them transform as a brand, and just the way that they've been so innovative and they've kind of changed things up. It just makes me so surprised that they're in this market, and they're in the market for the right reason. And whoever was just a part of their marketing team and just the company in general really saw a huge future for the company and continue to kind of, innovate and create new products and just kind of really kind of speak for the brand. And I just think that's absolutely amazing, and I love that. Very sheer coverage foundation. It doesn't really give me too much coverage, but I like that. I like foundation that is a little bit more on the lighter side. It's not buildable. I did try to build this up. I feel like when I build this up, it just tends to separate a lot more on my skin. So this is a really good foundation if you're just kind of just getting into makeup and you don't really want it to look too transparent on your skin, but you want to like even out your skin tone and anything like that. I think this is a really good thing. Even though this was a little bit darker on me, I feel like once I kind of blend it out, it's not too bad just because it is really sheer, but I can see that it's also really cool tone, and I personally don't like cooler tone foundations on my skin. I have more of like a neutral skin tone. I'm so mad at myself, you guys, because I have the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer, and guess what? I forgot to put it on. Every time I want to share with you guys on camera, I always forget this. And it's because I don't wear primer that much. I'm not really a primer gal. I'm more so just kind of like a moisturizer is your primer. I might just use it on top. And I know that's weird, but let's just kind of use it on top. And then I might just go in with like an extra little layer of this foundation. So I think this is great if you have oily skin. This really kind of like mattifies your skin. I don't see like a blurring kind of like poreless effect. I use this several times. I know I just used it on top of my foundation. You guys are like, what the heck did you just do? But I've used this several times on its own, like underneath foundation. People say this is the dupe for the Tatcha one. I've never personally tried the Tatcha one, so I can't be sure about that, but this is price. I think this is a really nice little thing. Next thing is something I was super excited about to try, and this is the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. I did purchase 2 different shades. So the first one I have is the shade that's right for my skin tone. I got it in the shade medium golden, and then the one that I kind of got to bronze and contour with is the deep cinnamon shade, which is right here. And you guys can just kind of see the comparison between the 2 colors. The past 7 days that I've been using it, I have come to the conclusion that this is a dupe for the Too Faced Born This Way concealer. So you guys already know I love the Too Faced Born This Way, and it has so much coverage and it's really hydrating as well, so it doesn't look like drying on your face or underneath the skin. I know that they have the 16-hour camo concealer, the one that comes with the black lid, and I was never interested in that because everyone was like a dupe for the Tarte Shape Tape. But as much as a fan I was of the Tarte Shape Tape, I just wasn't really a fan of it as I got older because I just felt like it was too much coverage for me. I don't like cakey looking skin, and it just started getting so cakey, and I just did not like that. Quickly just stopped becoming like a fan of the Tarte Shape Tape. But so if you like the Tarte Shape Tape, maybe you should try out their 16-hour camo concealer. But for me, this is definitely like a Born This Way type of formula, which, you know, all for. Like, this just feels so beautiful on the skin. It gives you coverage, and it's not super duper glowy either, where it's gonna settle into your fine lines, but it just kind of looks it just looks nice, you know, like it looks pretty on the skin. I'm gonna go in with Deep Cinnamon, and I'm gonna use this wherever I would essentially bronze. And I also like to put it on my nose. I don't really do nose contouring a lot, but I'm not gonna lie, I've actually really been enjoying it recently, especially with this concealer. Also, for my nose contouring, I just like to take my finger and blend it out like that. I feel like it just kind of blends much better than me just kind of using a brush. And then I will go in with a brush afterwards and just kind of blend that out even further. And you guys, like, I'm just so obsessed with my skin. It just looks really, really natural, and that's just what I like. It looks like, obviously, like I'm wearing makeup, but it's like flattering makeup, you know? It's not like super duper like caked up, which, you know, I'm all okay for. It's literally just depends on your preference. And I'm just the kind of person, especially, you know, like growing up, being an adult, I don't like a lot of like caked up makeup. I have talked about this product on my channel in the past, but this is the e.l.f. Cream Blush Palette, and I got this for $3 at Marshall. This is still available on e.l.f. by the way, and you can get this, I think it's like $6, which I think is such a good price. I have like 4 different really beautiful colors, and you can just mix and match, and this is so great for the price. But it's not that long lasting, but regardless, I think it lasts for hours and hours on the face, as much as you need it for. And the colors are absolutely beautiful. And usually with cheaper products that come like this, when you swatch the color, they all look the same. But once I kind of swatch this out and kind of put it on my cheeks, they all look really different. And the best thing is you can just mix and match. So I always kind of mix and match, and my favorite combinations are these two together. But I really like this. I have used this in a different video, so if you want to see how this performs, that I'll link over here if you guys want to go check that out. I picked up recently, and I've been obsessed with it ever since, this e.l.f. Active Workout Ready Lip and Cheek Palette. So this is a part of like their Bare All or like Work Active line, I don't know, but it comes with 4 different cream shades, and you can apply this on your lips and you can apply this on your cheeks, it doesn't matter. I don't like this on my lips, by the way. The formula for these are not lip friendly whatsoever. It's gonna accentuate like the lines on your lip, and it's not gonna look so great, but these look so great on the lips and on the cheeks because they're formulated for the lips as well. So there's 4 different colors. I think the color story is brilliant. It's absolutely beautiful. Universal to no matter what your skin tone is, whether you're really fair, whether you're really deep, this is gonna look really, really pretty on everyone. And then it does have a highlight here as well. I don't really wear highlight that much, so I didn't really dip into it, but we will do first impressions of the highlight to see how that is. Great. So I like to apply my cream blushes with the same brush that I blended out my bronzer. And for today's look, I'm gonna go and mix these 2 shades right here. And now we're gonna go in with this really pretty highlight shade. So that is really pretty. It just looks like your skin is naturally glowing. That's really nice. That is how the skin is looking like, and I'm really impressed by it. I'm gonna quickly do my eyebrows off camera and then come back to do that. I'm actually gonna take my Poreless Putty Primer. I know this is weird, but I tried this just on a whim couple of weeks ago, and I absolutely love the way that this little trick works. So just kind of take that primer. Once that is all primed, and to cancel out the color of my lids altogether, I like to take my concealer. You can take any concealer. I'm just gonna take this one. Just apply a little bit on the lids, and this is going to serve as our eyeshadow base. This is the e.l.f. Bite Size eyeshadow, and I have this in Carnival Candy. Oh, it's so tiny I can't even open it. But it looks like this, and this is the only shade I got. These are only $3. You guys, you heard right, these are only $3. Absolutely love that e.l.f. did this. It reminds me of their OG eyeshadow palettes that used to be $1, but it reminds me of those, except the quality is just so much better. So I decided to get this color story because I just think this is it's a little bit more different than what I have, especially with this blue. Believe it or not, I don't have a beautiful kind of royal blue like this at all in my collection, so I kind of wanted to play around with this. just talk about these eyeshadows really quick. I have nothing bad to say about these whatsoever. This blue blew me away. That's right. What it looks like in the pan is how it looks like on my eyes. And I just think that these shades complement each other so well. Each shade in here blends so perfectly with one another, and mattes are one of the hardest, in my opinion, one of the hardest formulas to get right, because they can end up looking so chalky and patchy, and that is not the case whatsoever for these. And I would be saying you're lying if you told me this was $3. And then something else that I picked up, but I sadly couldn't use all over my eyes today, but I will use it somehow. And this is the e.l.f. Liquid Glitter Eyeshadow. Now, just like the Stila ones and a bunch of other liquid eyeshadows that have come out in the past couple years, e.l.f. finally decided to come out of its own. Don't know how this performs yet, because this is one of the things I haven't used, but we're gonna use it today, and I'm planning to put it in my inner corners. I haven't even swatched it yet. Oh wow. So that is how it looks like, and the glitter is so stunning, you guys. Wow, that looks really pretty, but I'm not going to put this all over my lids just because I want the eye look to be fairly matte. So I'm going to go on and put this only in the inner corners, like the inner parts of my eyes. So you guys, so to finish off this look, I'm just going to go and finish off my lips. So for that, I'm just going to first line my lips with the Essence Soft Contouring Lip Liner in Going Steady. And I'm going to go back in with this little cheek and lip palette. And I'm going to take these two shades right here. I have used and talked about this so many times on my channel. This is the e.l.f. Lip Plumping Gloss in Mocha Twist. This is my favorite lip gloss that I have in my collection, period. This reminds me a lot of the Buxom lip plumping glosses, except it's so much more affordable, and I absolutely love it. I'm not going to apply it today just because I like the lip how it is, but I have used this so many times. I continue to use it. I'm already down to like this much, like right here. It's just one of my favorite lip glosses. You know that they came out with a bunch of new shades. And then lastly, I'm going to take this e.l.f. Hydrating Coconut Mist. This is my favorite thing in the world, you guys. I was scared this was going to break me out. Thankfully, it didn't break me out, and I love the coconut scent to it, and it really does hydrate your face in the morning, especially if I don't have any moisturizer on, my skin's feeling really tight. I just put this on, and all of a sudden there's like this glow to my face, and it's a really healthy glow as well. So I absolutely love this. I like to use this on top of makeup. I like to use this after makeup. It doesn't even matter. So that completes this full face of e.l.f. makeup look. Now I am going to talk a little bit more about each one of these products a little bit more. Starting off with the Poreless Putty Primer. I think that this is a really nice affordable primer, especially if you're someone that has a lot of pores. I didn't even set my under eyes or my face, and when I use this on top of my foundation, this just kind of mattified any shine that I had. So I think that's really nice for that. And I say matte, and you know, you guys are kind of all about that glowy look. Don't get me wrong, it's not the kind of matte that's gonna make you look really dry, cakey, and just like take that luster out of your skin. This is the kind of matte that is really flattering, the kind of matte that's gonna eliminate the shine but not completely take away the glow. I have been using it whenever I kind of want to wear primer, and especially on hot days. I think this is going to be so awesome for those hot days where you're feeling really oily and you feel like your pores are open. All you have to do is just kind of take some of this after your moisturizer, put it all over your face, and this is just going to give you a really nice little blurred effect. It's not anything intense, and the little trick that I have using this on my eyes and then applying concealer on after, I have seen a huge difference with the way that my eyeshadow applies and performs. So really like this, and I think for $8 you just can't, like, how can I complain about these things when they're literally that cheap and they perform so well? Like, I cannot complain, you know? And for the primer, by the way, I give the primer an 8 out of 10. I think it's great. I just don't really know if it prolongs like the wear of my makeup or anything, so I can't really give it like a 9 or 10 for that reason, but I do really like this because it does make a difference on your skin and the way that the foundation and concealer kind of apply. Next, we have the foundation. Now, I think this foundation looks beautiful. It is very light coverage. I would say it's like definitely reminds me a lot of the Glossier skin tint. It's just a little bit drier. The Glossier skin tint is much more glowy and it provides a lot more glow on your skin. This, on the other hand, the natural matte side, where it's not like super duper matte, but it doesn't really provide you with any glow either. But I think this with my skin tint would actually be really nice. Just because they're such sheer products, I don't think that should matter, but just because I do use this on its own and it gives me a little bit more of like that cooler kind of pink undertone, I don't really like that. But if I end up using it and using all of it and falling in love with it, I'll definitely pick up the one in the medium shade because I think it's really nice. One thing I love about this is that it feels so comfortable on the skin. The past week that I've been wearing this, I've just been noticing that my skin looks better throughout the day and it doesn't make me feel really heavy or like my skin is suffocating, anything like that. This is actually a good product. You know, you're not someone that really wears a lot of foundation or anything. You want something that's like a cheaper alternative to the Skin Tint by Glossier. I highly recommend this. I think this is great, and with the right moisturizer, this is not drying whatsoever. So I give this an 8 out of 10. Really nice. Then the next things are the concealer. Oh my god, I'm just so blown away by these concealers, you guys. I didn't even set these with powder and they just look so skin-like on my skin, and I don't know, there's just something about it. It gives you really nice coverage. I suffer from hyperpigmentation and under eye circles as well, and this covered both of my problematic areas that I have so well. So I give this a 10 out of 10. Absolutely love it. So many different shades to choose from. No matter what undertone you are, no matter what category you fall into, you're definitely gonna find your shade. All right guys, and then for my little cream blushes, I was actually not gonna buy this at first because I was like, you know what, I already have a cream blush palette. I'll just use this for the video and kind of testing out e.l.f. in general. The colors in this are just so stunning, and I thought it was going to be a very similar formula to this one, but it's not. It's totally different, and I love my lip combo that I'm wearing. Like, this just gives you a chance to play around with colors, and I think that's what makeup is all about, to play around with things, to kind of experiment on yourself. And highlighter in here is so beautiful. I was looking at the ingredients and it does have a little bit more oils in it, which can clog a lot of people's pores. So obviously I would never use this to work out in, because they say it's workout friendly and stuff. I wouldn't do that if I were you, but regardless, I think that the colors are so beautiful and they're just so up my alley. This highlighter is gorgeous. I'm telling you, if you buy this palette, there's no way that you're just going to use one or two of these shades. You're going to use everything. That's what I love about palettes. If you love the color story of each and every single shade, you buy it because you know you're going to use everything. So I'm actually so happy that I got this, because I'll be completely honest with you guys, I like the formula of this lip and cheek palette more than I do of this cream blush palette by itself. Cream blush palette is obviously amazing. It's definitely like a favorite of mine, you know? However, I would have to say that these cream blushes are just a little bit more, they kind of slip a little bit easier on the cheeks and on the face than this. This really kind of stays put on your face and on your lips. That's just kind of like my analysis of these two, but I would give this like a 7 out of 10. Even though I love it, I give it a 7 out of 10 just because it does like move on your face and stuff. So I give this a 7 out of 10, but this lip and cheek palette I give a 9 out of 10. I'm just so blown away by this. Sometimes inexpensive makeup doesn't provide you with that longevity, but regardless, you know, I think it's a great product and it lasts for several hours, if not the whole day. This glitter thing is so awesome. I actually kind of dragged it a little bit more into my inner lid there, but it is so cool. I cannot wait to play around with this more and pick up a few more shades. I wasn't really expecting this to be as great as it performed. I give this a 10 out of 10. I think it's great. Glitter doesn't kind of transfer anywhere else on your face, which is why it gets a solid 10 in my book. And these little bite-sized eyeshadow palettes, I also give this a 10 out of 10. I think that, you know, this just kind of brings me back to what e.l.f. was all about, and I absolutely love the color story. Each and every single one of these eyeshadow palettes has such a beautiful color story. That's really just the reason why I gravitate towards these, is because you can see that someone really kind of thought down and used their expertise when it comes to makeup. Every color goes so well with each other. I used all 4 of these on my lids today. Each and every one of these shadows, I can honestly say, blend so well with each other. The blue is so vibrant and it looks exactly on my lid than it does in the pan. Lip gloss, you guys already know, love it, 10 out of 10. And this little hydrating facial mist, 10 out of 10. Oh, by the way, the sponge is also really good. I think that this is just as good as the Real Techniques sponge, and that's really surprising for me. I like the Real Technique ones better than the Beauty Blender. So the fact that I'm saying I like this as much as I love my Real Technique one is a huge thumbs up from me. So that completes this video. I cannot say better things about these products. I just absolutely love them. I don't know why. e.l.f. is a brand that is so close to me because, you know, it's the first brand I used when I first started getting into makeup, and this is what I primarily used to buy, and just kind of seeing how far they've come in the past decade just makes me so proud of them, and I can't wait to see what else they do in the future. I purchased everything on my own. All these opinions are my own. If I truly love something, I'm gonna go out and bluntly say it with full confidence because I do love all these things. And you know, I've been testing them out for 1 whole week. That's why I kind of know exactly where my thoughts and opinions for each one of these things stand. So I really hope you guys enjoyed and found my video helpful. So next time when you're kind of on the e.l.f. website, I know it can get very intimidating because I have so many products. You know what's good out there, what's not. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, you guys, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.